Hi everyone, this is Luc-Olivier, and this week I am very excited to present you one of my favorite SUV available on the market. You've probably recognized it already. This is the Aston Martin DBX707. I know it's an SUV, but what I like the most about it is the design team kept all the cues that make an Aston Martin. In front, the first thing you'll notice is that humongous front grille that gives the whole character to the vehicle. After all, this is an Aston Martin. Right below, the diffuser made of carbon fiber. And it's the first glimpse of carbon fiber you'll have on the vehicle. And behold, there are over $31,000 worth of carbon fiber as option on that DBX. That's a lot of money. Jumping to the hood now, you've got these air vents fully functional with these blades of carbon fiber again. I love the design of it. The only letdown that I have in front, it's the shape of the headlamps that could have a little bit more sportiness. Moving to the side now, you've got that character line that define the whole vehicle. I just like it. Look at the panel here. You got, again, carbon fiber pointed like an arrow. I just love it. Then functional air vents, and look at these 23-inch wheels. They're just huge. Great design. I love it again. On the profile, pillarless door. That's something that I like because it keeps a sleek design to the vehicle. Same thing with the roof rack, black, so you kind of forget about it. And look at the doors. They're well sculpted and again, carbon fiber to support all of it. Talking about design with Aston Martin, I'm just like a kid. I love absolutely everything. It starts with that rear wing. It's a little shaky, but I like the way it directs the air on the ducktail. And because of that ducktail, we don't need a rear window wiper. Moving down, we've got that unique rear tail light, which is about the exact same as we get on the Vantage, the smallest Aston Martin of the lineup. Moving down, you can't miss that gigantic, it's the word, rear diffuser made all of carbon fiber. Look at the size of it. It's just out of this world. And something that I like a lot, they remove all the chrome on the exhaust system, which keep the design very sleek and pure to my taste. Design-wise, this car is almost perfect. Fun fact about the DBX707, to open the bonnet, because it's an Aston Martin and it's British, you have to go on the passenger side to release the hood. Once you get there, you'll discover a beauty. Thank you to Mercedes-AMG that provides that V8. It's a 4-liter twin turbo that gives you nothing less than 697 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque. This engine is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission that, depending on the setup, that can send up to 100% of the power to the rear axle. For 2025, one of the most important things they've changed on the vehicle, it's a brand new interior and it's worth it. But the first thing you'll notice once you open the door is the smell of the leather. In this very case, it's all forest green. It's an option of $6,400. It's expensive and you have to go through the Q catalog to get it. Design wise, it's more pure, it's more functional. We've got two screens. The instrument cluster, it's 12.3 inches, pretty standard in terms of design. I would have loved something more engaging, more options also. Moving now to the multimedia system. Now it is provided by Aston Martin. It's not anymore by Mercedes-Benz, and I think it's a good news because it has now its own design. The thing that I would have liked is a bigger screen. This one is only 10.25 inches. It's pretty small considering the price tag of the vehicle. Moving down to the console, a lot of buttons, physical buttons. So I think it's a good thing because it's much more intuitive to use and it's very simple. We are obviously in an Aston Martin, so there are a bunch of options. Two that are very interesting. One is the carbon fiber accents, over $5,000 worth of it. And the cherry on the cake, obviously, is the sound system, a $15,000 option provided by Bauer and Wilkins. It gives you 1600 watts and 24 speakers. Family-wise, the DBX is a family hauler that is functional, but you have to be careful. The door opening is very small, especially if you got young kids. Moving now to the trunk, it is also very functional. In that configuration, you've got 637 liters available, and if you take down the back seat, it goes up to 1500 liters, which is pretty much the same as the Lamborghini Urus.
One of the main reasons why you're buying an Aston Martin, it's the sheer pleasure of driving. Obviously, it's a sports car, even if it's an SUV. A lot of power comes out of the engine and it's very well calibrated. Same with the transmission, they work together almost perfectly. You can have different edges also. You can have the GT mode, which is very smooth, very comfortable, and if you want to have a little bit more spice, add sports or sports plus, and then it really released the beast. What I like with the suspension, when you're in sports mode, if you want to have a cruiser, just a normal driving, daily driving, it's very comfortable. If you go with Sport and Sport Plus, obviously the suspension will be a lot firmer and it's going to give you that edge in terms of sportiness, which is basically what you're looking for with that kind of vehicle. Something very interesting. Yes, it's sporty, but it's still a daily driving car. You can have this vehicle to bring the kids to the kindergarten, do your grocery store. It's very functional. That's something that I really appreciate, and because it has four-wheel drive, you can drive this all year long. Inside the vehicle, it's comfortable. The seats are very firm. That's something that I appreciate. A lot of adjustment can be done also. So basically, when you're on the road, this thing is very fun to drive. A lot of power. The direction is very stiff too, always depending on the mode. And if you want to push the beast, there's even a launch mode, which can make you do the 0-100 kilometers per hour in 3.3 seconds. If you have access to a track, you can go flat out to 310 kilometers per hour. In terms of fuel consumption, it's not too bad. It's below 13 liters per 100 kilometer. I think it's pretty acceptable considering all the power you got below your right foot. And fun fact, which is very practical, you can tow up to 6,000 pounds with the DBX. I think it is pretty obvious that I really did enjoy the Aston Martin DBX707. Now let's talk about price. Base price for this thing, obviously it's not really affordable. We're talking about the $300 to $1,000. The version that I had on test was barely underneath $350,000, so it's still very expensive. But if you compare to his main competitors, Lamborghini Urus or Ferrari Purosangue, we talk about much higher pricing. But you have to remember, this thing lost a lot of its value as soon as you sign the contract. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, this is a great SUV for its family.